from San Francisco, California. This is the Rock and Roll Geek Show. This is the story of my rock and roll butler.
Welcome to the Rock and Roll Geek Show. My name's Michael Butler. Thanks a lot for joining me. I really appreciate it. Today is Thursday, March 6, 2025. It's 3:39 when I'm recording this episode. As you can hear, that's Craig blasting music in the background. I'm in a different room. That's how big this place is. We're playing at a place called the Southgate House Revival, and it's looks like a former Catholic church. Really nice old church. It is now turned into a music venue. I'm in the small room here, and there's a small stage in this small room. I gotta get out of this noise here. There's a small stage, there's a small room, and then there's a bar upstairs too. We're playing in the big room, and I walked in here, and I'm like, do they have us in the right? If there's nobody in here, we're gonna be not enjoying this. But they said they're expecting a good crowd. They've already sold a bunch of pre-sales, and so we'll find out. We're in Newport, Kentucky. Last night we played in. Pardon me, I'm spaced out because I'm on very little sleep. Last night we played in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The show was good. It was not packed, but it was not empty either. It was a decent crowd. They were very receptive. The Strains are on tour with us. They're supporting us this entire tour. It's 5 shows. They're supporting us for these 5 shows. And there was also a band called The Cheats that opened last night as well. They knew. I knew them from when I was in American Heartbreak, and they knew me from Jet Boy. And one of the guys I think knows Andy Anderson from Attitude Adjustment. So we all know each other. Is basically my point. The show was fun. Tons of technical difficulties on my part and Richard and Manitoba's part too, as Mike was cutting out. We had a great sound check, and the rule, at least it has been for me in rock and roll or in general. If you have the rehearsal before the show, before the next show, if it's a bad rehearsal, you generally say that's going to be a good show. If it's a great rehearsal, then you worry because it might not be a good show. Well, we had a great sound check, and then you say, well, okay, let's hope for the best. Well, we had tons of technical difficulties, but we pulled it off. No one left, and everybody enjoyed the show and sold a good amount of merch, and Richard was happy. And if Richard's happy, we're all happy. We drove about 4.5 hours to get here. We had to leave at 9 a.m. We just walked in the door, 3 o'clock load in. There's 4 bands on the bill tonight. There's us, there's the Strains who are touring with us. I do not see a flyer here, so I don't know who the rest of the bands are. There's a bunch of flyers in here. There's the Dolly Rots are playing on the 19th. Willie Carlisle, it looks like he's a bluegrass guy. Jeffrey Martin, all these people. India Rainey, looks like she's country girl. Anvil's playing here. There you go. I don't recognize anybody else on these walls. But hopefully tonight will be good. Everybody's in good spirits. I caught a cold on the airplane coming out here, so I'm fighting a cold, but I'll get over it. Looking forward to a fun night as usual. It could be worse. I could be painting houses, friends. Joe Pawlak is following us around in his car. He helped us great amount last night. He acted as security in case anything went down. Fortunately, since he was standing there, nothing did go down. And he was also the keeper of Handsome Dick Manitoba microphone. It's good times. I'm expecting to see Tim Smith, the Rock and Roll Runner, here tonight. That should be nice to see him. Hopefully I'll see some more Rock and Roll Geek friends as well. So there you go. There's an update. I was going to have one of the guys from the Strains come on, but we were up in there in the dressing room, and it was too loud to do a show, and to do a podcast from up there, so he stayed up there. I'll get those guys on here before this thing's over. They're nice, real super cool dudes, and they rock out on stage and great punk rock tunes. All right, there you go. There's your update. I got to get up there and sound check. Let me see if I can walk in here. If Craig's finished playing, give you a description of this venue. There's a picture of 2 presidents on the wall, and I don't know who they are. They look presidential. They might not be presidents. Now we're going through the main room. It's a sanctuary. Oh, Amy Grant's playing here. Okay. Oh, no, excuse me. Flamey Grant is playing here. Okay. We're in the sanctuary room. Oh, Eddie Spaghetti from what's that band? You know who I'm talking about. HR of Bad Brains is playing here. The Warped Band. All right. So now there's 2 people playing. There's also a band on the bill called Idle Airs. Let it go outside. Okay, walking outside. All right, I'm outside. Newport, Kentucky. Hello, Newport. We came to eat, then rock, then eat some more. There's a White Castle right next to the hotel, so we'll probably be having some White Castles tonight after the show. All right, friends, there's your update. Newport, Kentucky. Last time I played here was at a place called the Jockey Club when I was in Stevie Stiletto, way back when I was in my early 20s, maybe late teens, probably early 20s. That must have been 1984, maybe. So it's been 40 years was the last time I was in Newport, Kentucky, home of the Kentucky Derby, I think. I will check in tomorrow, or I'm going to get the judge on the podcast. Say hey to the podcast, Judge.
Hey, what's happening, fellas? Where are we podcasting?
How do you know it's
to?
only guys listening to the show?
And girls? Well, you are in the podcast Hall of Fame,
Yeah.
so I assuming there are women watching tonight or listening tonight.
You know what they say? The chicks love podcast Hall of Famers.
That's all I heard last night.
Yeah,
they were all over you.
Thank you you.
know,
my wife will be thrilled to hear that. All right. So how do you think the show's going to go tonight?
I think the show's going to be fantastic tonight. You're playing, aren't you?
Yeah.
All right, then. So it's got to be. I heard you got a bass solo during the show.
I'm going to do
one.
one. I'm going to pull one out tonight. I'm going to do a...
Breathe Fire?
I'm going to do the Michael Anthony from Van Halen solo.
Very nice, very nice. Why don't you talk to Scotty Slam?
Scotty, say hey to the friends of the all the girls on the Rock and Roll Geek Show.
Hi, all the girls from the Rock and Roll Geek Show. It's the guy.
It's been nothing but debauchery so far on this tour. Everybody's just been there's lining up blowjobs for everybody.
I'm already out of lube one night.
You have to use lube for a blowjob?
Oh. No, I use that.
Oh, you were banging the chicks.
Yeah,
okay, it was the rest of us
so
getting
I could slip
blowjobs.
in and out of my
Okay.
front door.
All right, friends. That's going to do it for this update. I'm going to close out with this was just sent to me. Brand new Ravagers. They have they have a new album coming out on the loose, I think, but they just came out with a double A side. This is called Razor Love. I'll give you an update maybe later on after the show tonight. We'll see how it goes, or tomorrow. Thank you for listening to these updates. I hope you're okay with them. Last night was a little disjointed, and this one's even more disjointed, because that's how the Rock and Roll Geek Show is, friends, as you know. So Manitoba, the joke about all the girls, Manitoba introduced us all last night, and he said, he mentioned my podcast, and what's the name of your podcast? Because he doesn't know the name of the podcast. And so I said it, and he goes, he's in the podcast Hall of Fame. And I said, hear that, ladies? So that was the joke. All right, when you got to explain the joke, it's not funny. All right, friends, here's the Ravagers. Please keep the donations coming. Without your donations, this show would die a horrible, putrid, stench-filled death. It's a value for value. rockandrollgeek.com. Find me on the Facebook, R&R Geek. Find me on the Instagram, Rock and Roll Geek Don't Act. Find me on the X, Rock What is it? R&R Geek.
I must have sprinked.
All right, I'll talk to you tomorrow, friends. Here's Ravagers.
It's a rock and roll geek train wreck.